Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back everyone to our course Word Classes and Phrases. Our today's topic is all about noun phrase. Now let's start with some simple identification of phrases in sentences, okay? Let's start with this one. My new American college is now looking into the Sudanese language. Okay? So as you can see from different colors, it seems that this sentence is composed of three different parts, right? So the first part, my new American college, is our first phrase. It's now looking into our second phrase, and the Sudanese language is our third phrase. Okay, so now we can say that this sentence consists of three phrases. My new American college is now looking into and the Sudanese language. Okay, we can actually restate this rather long sentence to a much shorter one. So she is now researching it, right? And still, even though it's much shorter, this short sentence is composed of three parts or three phrases. She is the first phrase, is now researching, second phrase, and it is our third phrase. Okay, now let's look at the second example, second sentence. As soon as man has a crush on a Japanese woman. Okay, three different colors meaning three different parts or three different phrases. So as soon as man that could be our first phrase, has a crush on our second phrase, and a Japanese woman is our third phrase. Okay, we can restate this rather long sentence with a much shorter one, like he loves her. So he refers back to a Sudanese man, and her refers to a Japanese woman. Okay, and even though it's now shorter, still this sentence consists of three parts or three phrases. He's the first phrase, loves the second phrase, and her is our third phrase. Okay, so again, sentence number 2 consists of three phrases. I hope you guys have some idea of what phrases are. Okay, now let's look at these sentences. Number 1, audiences laugh, younger audiences laugh, the girl laugh, the little girl laugh, the cute little girl laugh, Sarah laugh, she laugh. So all these sentences have the exact same verb, right? Laugh, but they vary in terms of the form of the subject, right? So audiences, very simple one. Younger audiences, a bit longer. The girl, 2 words. The little girl, 3 words. The cute little girl, 4 words. And Sarah, she are simple ones. Okay, so each sentence here has a subject, as indicated by the red colored words, and the subject is a noun phrase, as you can tell from the meaning, right? Audience is noun, girl is a noun, Sarah or she also are noun. Okay, now what's the problem with this sentence is my very quickly laugh, near his laugh went away, laugh, wife my laugh. So like the previous set, this set has the same verb, laughed, but somehow the set doesn't work. Each of the sentences here is not grammatical, right? So what seems to be the problem? So each sentence here has a potential subject, as indicated by the red words, right? My very quickly, or near his, or went away, or wife mine. But somehow the subject here, the potential subject here, is not a noun phrase. So that is something interesting. So what does it take for a string of words or a word to become or to be considered a noun phrase? Let's find out. So what is a noun phrase? A noun phrase can be a word that consists of a noun alone, right? Like ujang, orangga, okay? Or a group of words that consist of at least a noun, like my name. So name is a noun there, okay? And my is the so-called modifier. Or a word, somehow this one covers definition 1 and 2. A word or a group of words that consist of a noun, okay? Like Ranga, my name. And I guess in a complete version of the definition, a word or a group of words that consist of at least a noun, Ranga, my new name, right? So this definition can cover examples or forms that are of a single word, or can also cover multiple word nouns, okay? Now look at the noun phrase below. Audiences laugh. So that's pretty much simple, right? And then younger audiences laugh, the girl laughed, the little girl laughed, the cute little girl laughed. So the first one, audience laugh, so the NP is simple. So it consists of a single noun, right? The second one, though, we see that the noun phrase consists of two words, right? Younger and audiences. And you know that younger, pretty much like a little, cute, little, right? Or adjectives. So what we learn here is we can use adjectives to modify nouns, in this case noun phrases, okay? Or adjectives are part of a noun phrase. The third one, we see a different kind of modifier, which we call determiners or articles, right? Like the or and, right? And they come before the noun, of course. So, and when we have two modifiers like this one, we have the and we have another word, little. So we have two different kinds of modifiers. The first one is a determiner or an article, and second one is an adjective. And the right order in English is determiner comes first, adjective comes second, and the last word in sequence is the head noun, okay? So the noun phrase can be a single noun or coupled with other words, in this case determiners and adjectives, as we have seen, okay? And here's the rather more complete NP structure. So a noun phrase can consist of simply a noun, as we have seen just now, or adjective plus noun, like in younger audiences, or the girl, determiner plus noun, or determiner plus adjective plus noun, like the little girl, or determiner plus adjectives and plus noun, so like the cute little Sundanese girl, for example, okay? Now task 1, I'd like you to find every noun phrase in these sentences and identify structure, okay? Alright, now observe these NPs. My 3 children go to school here, okay? And then those 2 suitcases are mine. So these 2 sentences somehow are composed of the same kind of structure. So my and those are determiners, right? And then we are looking at a new kind of modifier, which is the so-called numerals, right? So numerals simply refer to numbers, okay? Like 3, 2, and in English the right order is you put the determiner first and then numerals come afterwards, okay? Alright, we can also have another modifier, like all my children go to school here. In this case, all is not a numeral because it's not a number, but all is rather considered as the quantifier, okay? Because it quantifies entities or nouns, okay? So the right order in English is quantifier comes first, and the determiner comes after it. Okay, all my children go to school here. And the same is here, both those suitcases are mine, so both are quantifier, and those is a determiner. Okay. All right. Task 2, I'd like to identify all the noun phrase and of course analyze their structures, right? Pretty much like what you did in the first task. Now observe this NP. So we can actually enlarge or expand a noun phrase or the head noun, not only before the noun like what we've seen previously. So we can expand the noun that appear after a noun, like number 1, the boy in the blue shirt, right? So this modifier comes after the head noun. The house on the corner, right? The man standing over there, the boy talking to Angela, the man we met yesterday, and the house that Jack built. So all these modifiers come after the head noun. Okay, now let's look at the structure. So here we see the so-called prepositional phrase, pretty much like the phrase is headed by the preposition in, on, right? And the second one is determiner plus noun, so determiner and noun, and then another modifier is verb ing, right? Standing over there, talking to Angela. The last one is determiner, noun, the and man, plus clause, because we are looking at a much more complicated structure, and it happens that the modifier after the noun is a clause, right? We met yesterday, Jack built. Okay. All right, and how about this one? So that Sudanese boy over there in a green t-shirt drinking bajigur. So we are looking at a very complex, a big fat noun structure. And so here noun is a determiner, right? And Sudanese is an adjective modifying the head noun boy. And over there is prepositional phrase. In a green shirt is also another prepositional phrase. Remember, over and in are both prepositions, and drinking bajigur is verb ing. Okay, so what we can say here is several other words, okay, together they can modify a noun, and you can stack up, the same phrase over and over. So this prepositional phrase gets stacked up after another prepositional phrase. So it's one of the features of phrases. They can be stacked up, right? They can be combined right next to each other. Task 3, I'd like to identify all the noun phrases and their structure, pretty much like what you did in task 1 and 2. Okay. And souvenir. Okay, so I'd like you to identify all the nouns and structures from this short passage. Alright, that's all from me for now. Thank you so much for your attention. We'll see you again next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.